Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome to my channel. I am Rauf Yassin and you guys are learning ASP.NET Core MVC and we are developing a complete e-commerce web application using ASP.NET Core MVC. In the previous video, we referenced our projects with each other and we understand what is this three-layer architecture and what is the meaning of core, business and project, and we created some test classes to test our references and it works fine. So in this video we're going to install entity framework in our application so that we can set up our we can create our models and we can set up our connection string and database. We'll deal with connection string and models later on, but this video is very important in order to install correct entity framework variant so that we can you can follow exactly what I'm doing. You can follow me without any problems. So because we have this business layer and this business layer is dealing with the database, performing uh, things like performing CRUD operations, and it will have migrations, and within this folder it will have migrations and it will have our DB context clause. So we will install entity framework within this project. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to add install entity framework. So in order to install any package from NuGet packages, we'll have to right click on the project name and we'll have to click manage NuGet packages. And over here we'll have to search for Microsoft.entity framework entity framework core .sql server. This, because we will be using Microsoft SQL Server, so we'll have to select this and we'll have to install this. But before installing, you can see what is the latest stable variant of entity framework. So it is telling 5.0.8, and we'll have to make sure that when we are installing these frameworks, we should follow we should be able to understand what is the current runtime of our application or current variant of our application, so that we install the same variant of entity framework and other libraries. So how we can know what is the variant of our application? So you can click here in the package manager console here. If you don't see package manager console here, you can come here in the tools, NuGet package manager, and you can click here package manager console, and over here you can write a command .net -- info and click enter, and you will see it will give me a bunch of details like .NET runtime installed. I have core 2.1, 2.8, 2.28, 3.03, 156. Then I have 5.0, 5.6, 5.0.7, and I have a bunch of different SDKs installed side by side within my project. But the important information, you can see SDK installed 3.1, 5. This, 5. This, 5. This. These are SDKs. But if you come here, host useful for support, this is the variant of our application 5.0.7. 5.0.7 we are using this variant in our application. So when we created our application, it is created using this variant. So whenever we want to add some packages, we'll have to take care that we will be using a same variant or not. So we're using 5.0.7. so what I'm going to do, I'm going to click here and I'm going to click this 5.0.7, and remember we have selected this Microsoft.entity framework core .sql server, and we have this variant, and then I'm going to click install. By the way, we are installing this entity framework within this business project, and I'm going to click I accept. And another important function, another important framework I'll have to install is this Microsoft.entity framework core.tools. This is very important to install this in order to run package manager console command. So again, I'm going to select 5.0.7 and click install. And another important package, I'll have to install this Microsoft Entity Framework core.design, and again 5.0.7, click install. I accept. Perfect. So these are three packages we'll have to install in order to use Entity Framework. So after that, what I'm going to do, I'm going to right click on this data folder. I'm going to click here and add, and over here it will be the name of our the name of our db context class. So we have pound saving store context. So we can write, instead of like writing pound saving store context, we can simply write app db context. Okay, so we can write this name. Otherwise, I think the more simple will be store context. We can write this store context, or we can write app store context. Okay, so app store context is perfect. So this is basically the name of our connection string or db context class, and I'm going to add this context class, and I'm going to set this public, and I'm going to inherit this class from db context. And if I click here control dot, and look, it is giving me now, because we have successfully installed Entity Framework, and now it is giving me the hint to you add this using namespace in my class. So when I click here, and it is added here perfectly. So this is how you can add install Entity Framework in your application. In the next video, we'll set up connection string in app settings.json, and we'll deal with the connection string in the next video. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.